Alright, so moving on to the final segment. I'll be sharing my fight summary on the fight that took place Friday on Valentine's Day in the sport of boxing between Keyshawn Davis and Denys Bernichyk. So, in the lightweight division on Friday on ESPN Top Rank, we saw that Keyshawn Davis defeated Denys Bernichyk by knockout in the 4th round to become the new WBO lightweight champion in the sport of boxing. So, this was a huge turn of events in terms of the landscape of the lightweight division, but this was a great performance by Keyshawn Davis. It couldn't have went any better or much smoother than this. Getting the knockout within 4 rounds against Denys Bernichyk, who was undefeated, 19-0 somehow, some way. But he held that WBO title, and Keyshawn Davis made it look like a cakewalk. I mean, he was the much faster, much stronger, more polished boxer. And I told you guys last week, what did I say last week? I said Keyshawn was going to get the knockout victory, and he was going to go to the body. That's exactly what Keyshawn Davis did. When he dropped Denys Bernichyk in the 3rd round, he went to the body, sent him to the canvas the first time. But the second time, which put the lights out for Denys Bernichyk, when Keyshawn Davis landed the 1-2 combination of the body, but that left hook that landed to the body, that was that liver shot, that put Denys Bernichyk down. He was on a knee, couldn't get up for the 10 count. It was counted away. And once that body shot lands to the liver, it shuts everything down. You can't move. And that's what exactly is what happened to Denys Bernichyk. But Keyshawn Davis becomes a world champion in his first 14 fights in the sport of boxing. I think he joins an elite list of fighters that have done that, became a world champion at this lightweight division, under 15 pro fights, joining a list of guys like Vasily Lomachenko, Oscar De La Hoya. That's an elite list to follow. So it seems like Keyshawn Davis is the next big thing at this lightweight division. So, now, this division, when you look at it, it gets more interesting now because you got Keyshawn Davis, Gervonta Davis, Vasily Lomachenko, and Shakur Stevenson all holding a world title. So this is going to be very interesting moving forward. But there's something I want to talk about before I get to the landscape of this division now. And I gave Bomac a lot of credit here. Bomac, for those who don't know who Bomac is, he's the mastermind of being one of the greatest trainers in the sport of boxing. And he has been the man behind some masterclass performances of Keyshawn Davis and Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, being the second best fighter in the sport of boxing today. His game plans that he has for his respective southpaw fighters, he makes their fights look so easy. I don't know how he does it. He is a true student of the game when he dissects the film and puts together these game plans, because it reminds me of how Terrence Crawford made his fight against Earl Spence in the summer 2023 look like a cakewalk. Like Earl Spence looked like an amateur. Keyshawn Davis in his first world title opportunity against a gamed Ukraine fighter in Denys Bernichyk, who was tough as nails, because not only if you look at his boxing background, undefeated, became a world champion last year when he defeated Emmanuel Durante, he also was a bare knuckle fighter. So this was a guy that was not scared in combat sports, but the game plan made him look like an amateur. And Keyshawn Davis put the fear in him, because you could tell as the fight went on, I'm like, why is Denys Bernichyk continuing to hold so much? It's because Keyshawn Davis put the fear in him with his boxing skills and his power, and there was nothing that Denys Bernichyk could do about it. So, again, that goes to the credit of Bomac being one of the best trainers in the sport of boxing. Always having his boxers prepared, always having picture-perfect game plans for his boxers. And I was a fan of this one, but this leads to what's next for Keyshawn Davis. Now, like I just said, he joins an elite list of boxers that are world champions. Again, Gervonta Davis holds the WBA title. Shakur holds the WBC title. Vasily Lomachenko holds the IBF title. And now Keyshawn Davis holds the WBO title. So, the fight to be made is obviously Gervonta Davis versus Keyshawn Davis in 2025. I know we want the Gervonta versus Shakur fight. I think that will happen later on down the line. But a Gervonta Davis versus Keyshawn Davis fight, I think that's a massive title unification fight. And the fact that Keyshawn Davis is building momentum, the fact that he's getting more comfortable in the ring, the fact that he won his first world title in under 15 pro fights tells me that he's ready for anybody at 135, or if he had to go up to 140 a fight. But that would be fun. The build-up between the Davises of Gervonta and Keyshawn would be great, because Keyshawn Davis has that aura, and he has the mic skills to build up the fight between himself and Tank Davis. We know that they used to train together, they sparred together in the past, but with the power that both of these fighters possess, the styles that they fight in southpaw, and how effective they are in the boxing ring with their boxing IQs, I think that'd be one hell of a fight. And I think Keyshawn Davis is one of the only cats in this division that could really give Gervonta Davis a run for his money. Not saying he would beat him, but that would be a tremendous and explosive fight. If that fight's not made, I think then we're going to lead towards a Keyshawn Davis versus Vasily Lomachenko title for unification, because that would be the easiest for best for business for Bob Arum's sake, because both Keyshawn and Vasily Lomachenko are both signed to Top Rank, and that would be easy title for unification. Keep those lightweight titles on their side of the streets, and boxing promoting politics, that being Top Rank and not letting any other promoters touch 2 out of the 4 prestigious titles, because we know Tank is with PBC, Shakur left Top Rank and is now with Matchroom. So business standpoint, that would make a lot of sense. If Keyshawn Davis and Gervonta is a main, you can have an easy title unification fight with 2 fighters that stay on the same street of Keyshawn and Vasily Lomachenko for a title unification in 2025. But if you, and this is another, before I end this, this is something I want to say also about the racist standpoint that happened between Keyshawn Davis and Denys Bernichyk. Now, we don't get into this. We don't get into the race car on this podcast. But there is something that I do want to address. Now, throughout the week, Denys Bernichyk delivered bananas. Apparently, Denys Bernichyk's team delivered bananas and watermelons to Keyshawn Davis's hotel room. And the note said, "Here's a snack for all those high jumps. Stay energized, business mom." On the note, I don't believe that was Denys Bernicyk's team who did that. The man I believe that was really behind that was Teofimo Lopez. And that son of a bitch is really foul, because not only is Teofimo Lopez a foul individual, I respect his boxing skills, but I don't respect his character outside the ring. And I believe it was Teofimo, because moments after that was revealed, he posted a video of himself watching Keyshawn Davis's reaction, eating a banana and laughing about it. We know that Teofimo Lopez has went on podcasts in the past trying to signal to fight black fighters of Gervonta Davis and Terrence Crawford, calling them monkeys, apes, etc. to get a big-time fight. That is not how you fight an African-American. And not only that, we have seen Teofimo Lopez address that Top Rank pushes the black fighters and really doesn't care about anybody else, which is not a true fact at all. If you guys want to be honest, Bob Arum's long-lost son has always been Vasily Lomachenko with Top Rank. So boxing is a bizarre sport that racism, there's no consequences for racism. You can't do that in the NFL. You can't do that in the NBA. You can't do that in MLB, NHL. And I damn sure can't do that in the UFC. Boxing needs to start laying the law down for these racial things that happen with either being fined or stripped of titles, because there is no way in this world that, one, nobody has shut up Teofimo Lopez yet, or two, that this man has not received any consequences for the things that he has done in terms of foul play, playing towards the black fighters. So I feel like Teofimo is thirsty to get his hands, or I should say get in the ring with one of these talented black fighters, because Terrence Crawford is a pound-for-pound fighter in the sport of boxing. Gervonta Davis is one of the biggest cash cows in the sport of boxing. He is desperate to get in the ring with one of them, because if you guys want to get down to it, Teofimo Lopez, yes, he's a former unified champion. He's 2-division world champion, currently the WBO world champion, the 140-pound division. The thing about it is, as talented as he is, and with the top-tier names that he has on his resume, defeating Vasily Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, why has the man made under $1 million in his biggest payday in the sport of boxing? Y'all tell me. He's not a star, so what he's doing is trying to get in the ring with one of these black fighters so he can make the biggest payday of his career. Not saying that all black fighters are the cash cows, but the way how this man is going on podcasts, calling these fighters monkeys, then you go and post a video making yourself even more look more suspect to the fact that you could have been behind it, because Denys Bernichyk doesn't even speak English as a Ukrainian fighter. So that is making it's pissing me off. I just want somebody to just shut him up, because the fact that he's getting away with this, not getting fined, or there's no repercussions for this, it's unbelievable. But I think one day Teofimo Lopez is going to learn a lesson from one of these respective fighters. Not saying it'll be Tank or Crawford, but maybe a Jaron Ennis. Maybe Keyshawn moves up one day and fights him. We'll see. But that is my Keyshawn Davis versus Denys Bernichyk fight prediction, or fight summary, I should say. And that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.